Good morning, dear friends. It's Friday, and our appeal of trust for today is chapter 33, Mitigated Trials. Dedication to the gospel's work of love is an urgent and advisable task for all hearts who have already awakened to the need for self-illumination. However, dedication to the purpose of serving does not exempt a worker from the natural redeeming trials that are both redemptive and beneficial to address transgressions against divine law. These redemptive opportunities are a path towards pacification of the conscience before obsessive past guilt. Before those daily testaments that each one is presented with, we should thank God for these holy opportunities of sacrifice which free ourselves to the means of smaller pains rather than greater pains. The smaller pains help soothe the bigger pains through the laws of mercy, which work in favor of everyone. The exercise of love and the intensity through which beings devote themselves to the work function as saintly balms that do not prevent us from being tested, but rather make the test less arduous. Believe that without work the situation would be much different. Therefore, bless our workers of the last hour, who are consciously dedicated to the task of personal redemption, by trusting in the Father and being submissive to His wise orders and directions. Paul said with wisdom, "In everything give thanks." Therefore, with heartfelt praise, recognize that here is found the key that opens the door to an augmented experience of fulfillment and happiness. This page of today speaks about the fact that although we are workers of Christ, although we are engaged in the work of goodness or at least trying to do so, that condition will not exempt us from the natural trials of life, because these trials are precisely the exercise, the tests that we need in order to evolve. No one can grow, no one can advance without being tested. This is how it happens in our daily lives. When we are seeking to grow intellectually, for instance, we are challenged with tests, with different assignments that help us to grow, that help us to learn. The same thing is with our moral life. So it is natural, no matter whether you are a worker of Christ or not, that life will be full of these trials and difficult situations that come to help us to develop and also to reharmonize ourselves with the law. However, what Dias da Cruz is reminding us is that, most of the times, because God is so merciful and loving, those pains are little pains that God provide us, little trials that God provide us in order to help us, as opposed to more pronounced difficulties and sufferings that would be in line with the damage and the harm that we have caused in the past. So whatever comes to our way, it's coming to our way because we need, and it's coming in our way with the blessing and the mercifulness and the love of God, who also gives us the absolutely minimal that we need in order to grow and in order to learn. So again, he will remind us that the work does not prevent us from being tested, right? And that it is then important for us to develop this feeling of gratitude, recognition of God's love and mercifulness, and give thanks to everything. So continue to do the work, because the work always speaks in our favor. The work becomes a bonus in our spiritual account, if you will. But remember that, that is part of life. That is the reason why we're here. We're here to be tested. We're here to grow. So in everything, gives thanks. In all the situations, knowing that the Father is sending our direction what we need, and He's sending our direction the package with the least amount of troubles possible, just enough, just at the right quantity to help us to take a step forward in our evolution. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again on Monday.